What's the word, Cosmic Family? What's the word, y'all? Hey, let me explain something to y'all real quick, right? So y'all know that we all have a divine counterpart, right? And for some of us, we've never really knew our divine counterparts, right? We never really came to know them or even feel like they exist because it's been this war, right? Against, star seeds, against the chosen ones, right? And the devil, for real, is the one that's actually keeping the divine counterparts and the soulmates separate, right? Like, y'all have to understand, man, that the devil does not want us to be whole brain thinkers, right? The system that we live in does not want us to be whole. And if they did, they would do more things to bring families together or to create healthier, stronger families, right? See, a lot of us, right, especially in the black community, we grow up with baby mamas, baby daddies. We grow up with, long-term boyfriends, long-term girlfriends, but only rarely do these relationships result or turn out to be, marriage worthy and everything like that, right? Like, we have to understand, man, that since we've been born, right, we longed for our other half. We longed for our other, frequency, right? We longed for our better half, right? Let's just say it like that, right? We longed for that, and since the Most High Divine Creator knows that, right? Since we spoke to the Divine Creator many times and told him, Most High, may you please send me my divine counterpart. Most High, may you please send me my soulmate, and still kept feeling alone. I have to understand, man, that's the devil, right? The devil wants you to feel alone. Yeah, I have to understand, man, that this world that we live in, man, there is a person out there that's for you. There is a person out there specifically tailored to you. But the devil knows, man, that when y'all meet, things will, inevitably get so much more stronger for y'all. The frequency around y'all love will be solid, will be strong. The frequency around y'all family will be strong, will be solid, right? And the devil, he knows this, and the devil does everything in his power to keep you away from actually being with your divine counterpart, right? Experiencing your divine counterpart, right? That's why there's a separate war. There's a separate war on women, and then there's another war on men, right? They want to keep us collectively both low vibrational, so we're not, getting in contact with our soulmates, with our, soul tribe family, right? They want to keep you submerged in this matrix to basically, you know, prevent you from actually being around the ones that are going to help your spirit and your soul grow, right? See, I've been around a lot of twin flames, right? I've met twin flames, right? I'm sure you got a lot of those, right? But soulmates, divine counterparts, that shit is rare, right? And if you do have a longing for that, just know that that person is out there, right? That man, that woman is out there, right? It may seem like they're not, right? But that's only because the devil has a hold of your perception, right? The devil controls this world. The devil controls what, music people listen to, what movies and shit people watch. So y'all have to just understand the signs and the symbols when your divine counterpart is coming in. Because a lot of times you will get signs and symbols through messages, through movies on when they are coming in or when that season of love is coming in for you. And I can say that because right now it's like I'm seeing signs and synchronicities that, divine love is not far from me, right? The love that I'm actually seeking is not far from me. It's just, you know, my perception, right? It may look like I'm alone, but you have to understand that you are not alone, right? You were never alone. And a lot of times the same battle that you are going through, your soulmate or your other half is going through as well. So when you come more to, when you come closer to knowing yourself more, than your divine counterpart comes close to knowing their self more, right? It's almost like a help me, right? I would help me to help you to help me. That's how I feel like that divine counterparts and soulmates and shit like that actually work, right? And we can have a lot of twin flames out here, like a lot, right? And that a twin flame is just a person that you just think alike, right, or think like. Twin flame is just a person who has the same likes and the same probably goals as you, but can they help your soul grow and elevate to the next level? No, that's called a soulmate. And I'm not saying that twin flames can't help you grow and elevate, right? But a lot of them result in either one losing the flame for another, or flame just being lost totally in the relationship because y'all got two separate places y'all trying to go, right? And essentially, man, I'm understanding this shit, man, just in life, bro. I'm understanding this shit, bro. So it's like I try to maneuver in the best way that I can, the best way that I know that's actually fit and beneficial towards me on some shit, right? But shit, understand, man, that y'all not alone. Even if you've been alone for a couple years now, even if you've been alone for a season, understand that you're not alone, that you do have a soulmate and a partner out here, right? Maybe a lot of days where I think like, damn, you know what, is anybody even looking out for me? Is anybody out there for me? And then I realized, like, you know what, yeah, right? Because love is out there, right? You just have to emit that frequency, right? Shit, work on you. Better work on you, and then your soulmate will, right? Y'all trying to find each other, right? Y'all literally trying to find each other out here. But it's so many people out here that it's like you can't really, come in contact with them, right? Shit, believe it or not, a lot of the relationships, man, that we ended up getting into, like at first, originally on some shit like that, man, those were relationships that stemmed from our lower selves, right? Because we looked at this person like, oh, I want them because of X, Y, and Z, or we looked at, where you was in life, right? And was like, okay, yeah, I want them, right? The thing about it is, man, money will attract the women that you want. Struggles will attract the women that you need, right? When you actually going through some spiritual shit, right? You need to grow. Your soul needs to elevate, man. Your soulmate will come in, right? And a lot of times, man, we be having twin flames, and we be confusing our twin flames with our soulmates, right? Just because they make us feel good, just because they help us with direction a little bit, right? Simply because twin flames, emit the same frequency in a way. I trying to go, you know, in the same destination. Essentially, y'all like the same shit. Y'all, resonate with each other, right? Y'all are like compatible, but it's like that person may not help your soul grow. And people just have to understand that shit, man. Like, that's facts. Shit, but I do thank God. I thank the Most High, man, for this season of loneliness, right? But I wouldn't even call it loneliness. I would say this season of being alone, right? I trust that this season of being alone and learning from myself and other people, man, is probably what's going to maintain me or uphold me for the next 20 years, 30 years of my life, probably for the rest of my life, right? This is why I don't despise, man, my twin flame relationships, because they taught me, about shit, right? They taught me about myself. Twin flame relationships will often teach you about yourself because that's like a different aspect of you, right? That you resonate with, right? And when y'all often fall out of, terms with each other, that's when y'all can actually, sit back and analyze, like, okay, what made me want this person originally? Like, why? And, how did I fall victim to the things that I wanted, right? And it was probably because you didn't really know yourself, right? You only knew an aspect of yourself that you liked, and you tried to feed on that, right? Just to realize, like, okay, this is not going to hold me up in the next level of my life. And then that's kind of where that soulmates come in at, right? Where they actually elevate your soul and have you see the things that you've always wanted or the things that you've always been, right? But, you know, I'm speaking so strongly on this simply because it's like I'm in that season of just being in my own energy, right? Of knowing myself, right? I was in relationships with twin flames where I only knew the things that I liked, right? You never really have a different opinion when you're with someone that's always confirming, you know, your facts or confirming your opinions and shit like that, right? A soulmate may not always confirm with what you think or your opinions, only because they're meant to help you grow. And in life, I be looking for that now, right? I'm not looking for the one that always agrees with me. I'm looking for the one that disagrees with me, right? At this point in time, right? Or one that can see a different side of the coin, right? One that can see a different perspective, right? Because, we are always bound to change. So something that you may like Monday, you may, hate on Friday, right? So it's like, I wouldn't even say hate. I would just say fall out of, right? You may like this person Friday, and then, realize that they not shit on Saturdays. Like, you have to realize that, man, life, we're not always going to be right. In life, we're not always right. That's why it's like you need someone that's going to be able to at least give you a different side of shit, right? But yeah, I mean, know yourself more, and I feel like they'll get you closer to your soulmate, right? Because your soulmate has always been one that's trying to elevate your soul, right? And I believe that soulmates can be, um, old or young, right? Your soulmate could be older than you. Your soulmate could be younger than you, right? It's not always about being the same age or on the same page. Your soulmate could be poor and you could be rich. You could be poor and your soulmate could be rich. Because it's not always about the materialistic things. It's about growth and elevation and them helping your soul grow to another, domain, right? But I hope that this video helped y'all a little bit on, just finding love, finding, right, that one that is made for you, right? And yeah, be free to replay this video. But yeah, that'd be it. You gotta be at peace though. Ashe, ashe, ashe.